Hey, everybody. Welcome to the last episode of season 2 of the Rowe-Thrush Solution Selling Show. I'm James Thrush with Rowe-Thrush. And what is the Solution Selling Show? This is a weekly podcast that we put on where basically every Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time, we bring on a different supplier partner and we interview them, asking them the types of questions that we feel a Grainger account manager would want to know. As you can see, I'm not alone today. Normally we have somebody virtually jumping in, but today I have Jim Rund with United Shield joining me. So welcome to the show, Jim. Glad to have you today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, looking forward to getting into the world of United Shield products. So if you're not familiar with United Shield, they do ballistic panels, vests, shields. You see some of their products behind us here. So before we get into all of that, Jim, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do at United Shield, how long you've been with them, and maybe a little bit about your history.
Okay. I've been with United Shield for about 1 year now. I'm the director of sales and marketing, so I travel all over the country visiting key accounts and agencies. I also support our distribution network that's there. And then we have, as far as my history in the armor industry, I've been selling body armor for about 20 years now, locally here in the Chicagoland area. And it's been a great relationship so far. So I would consider myself, out of the products that I've sold in the last 20 years to the various police departments, state, municipal, and federal governments, body armor's been my favorite.
Excellent. And, the one other thing that I got to say too, when I was scheduling to have you guys on, I was like, you know what, I want to have them on for Veterans Day, because I figured what great way to, to say thank you to all of our veterans than to have somebody that makes products to help keep our veterans safe when they're out there doing their jobs. So thank you for joining us here today.
Absolutely.
And thank you for the introduction of yourself. Now, I do have one other question that I like to ask every guest that comes on here. Last year it was, what is your favorite movie and why? And Brian Banducci, who had joined us, his was Con Air. This year, though, it's not favorite movies anymore. So I'm sorry. You could still answer that if you want. No. But this year's question is, who's your favorite band and why?
Favorite band? Oh, I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here, James. I really don't have a favorite band. Typically, I'm in the car. I'm not listening to music. I'm typically on the phone answering questions from police departments. So there you go. So if there's no music in my car going on.
Okay. Well, if you had to pick a concert to go to, and it could be anybody, living or dead, it could be Jimi Hendrix, it could be The Doors, it could be whoever, What would be that one band that you'd be dying to go see play live?
Oh my goodness. Well, it'd probably have to be somebody that wasn't around anymore or that I didn't get a chance to see. So maybe I don't know. I really don't know. How about the Beatles?
The Beatles, okay. We've had the Beatles be mentioned a couple of times this year, okay. So good pick. Not exactly my cup of tea as far as music.
Mine neither. And I just couldn't come up with anything better.
What's funny about it too, though, is the Beatles are such a huge band. They've made so much great music out there, and I do respect the music that they've put out. It's just I don't really care for it. And the weird thing too about the Beatles is my favorite band. They they've broken up. They were heavily influenced by the Beatles, and while their music is a bit slower and more down-tuned and everything, if you listen to it and you have a musical ear, you can hear the influence of Black Sabbath as well as the Beatles kind of mixed together, which is a very interesting mixture of two very different genres of music. But the Beatles, okay, great. My son loves the Beatles. He actually learned to play Day Tripper on his guitar recently. So thank you for the music recommendation. Because of that, I will listen to some Beatles on my way home from work today, as I do every guest that we have on our show.
Sounds good.
So thank you for that. Now, why don't you tell us about United Shield? I alluded to the shields and the other products we have behind us, but from your words, what is it that United Shield does?
So United Shield is a multi-factory location business. We're headquartered in Traverse City, Michigan. We've got a factory over in England, in Andover, in the UK, and we also have our Florida facility they do our soft body armor panels. So if I were to break it up, Traverse City is the manufacturing location for all our external carriers. UK is all the location where we do our helmets and shields and our plates. And then Florida is our soft armor facility. So it's those three factories which make up United Shield. We've got over 80 years of combined experience in development and design in ballistic manufacturing from the management side of things. And we're proud supporters of the veterans, of first responders. I mean, it's all about saving lives with United Shield, whether it be from rifle fire or pistol fire. It's all about saving lives.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you for going through all of that. Tremendous opportunity here with the Grainger sales teams when it comes to your products for saving lives. So thank you for that. Now, for anybody watching, if you want to learn more about United Shield, over to the side there is a QR code that you can scan with your phone, and it will take you to multiple different websites that you could select from. United Shield's products on Grainger.com, their website, YouTube channel, various social media platforms. So scan that QR code so you can learn more about United Shield. Now, also, normally last year when we had Brian on, I asked him what types of customers, and you've already kind of mentioned the customers. I'll include a link right about now that will take you to a clip of Brian talking about the customer types. But basically, it's first responders, police, military, law enforcement agencies. So you could click that link to hear from Brian, the president of United Shield, talking about the customer types. And also right now, I'll include another link to one that talks about the CBIs, or customer business issues, that United Shield can help solve. Obviously, safety is a big one, and emergency preparedness. But you'll hear it from Brian's words if you click that link that I just mentioned. So now we want to get into some product types. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the different products, starting with your ballistic shields?
Ballistic shields for us, you can look at it and gauge it in two categories. There's pistol rated shields and there's rifle rated shields. Again, these come out of our UK facility. They're developed out of several different types of materials. So it's up to your customer to decide, hey, what do they want to defeat? What threats do they want to defeat? All of our shields have a heavy duty rubber edging for longevity and life cycle. Some shields we have a variety of different sizes. So our website and information will dictate size and shape and different configurations. Mm-hmm. Some have a viewport where you'd look through. Just like this one we have here. Well, and some don't have a viewport. So that's all customer driven. All of our shield shapes come from field development. So it's an agency that had a specific request and they asked us to do a certain shape for something. That's where our shapes come from. And we never really pull anything out of the product line. We only add it. Once an agency will decide on a specific ballistic shield and they train with that ballistic shield, they get very comfortable there and they want to stay in that same shape. Mm-hmm. It's not like changing. It doesn't change that often. So pistol, rifle, with viewport, without viewport. The rifle shields, I'd say, have been in the last 12 to 16 months have increased in popularity due to recent events. And so rifle protection has been the biggest demand and request on United Shield so far this last year. And that's where we see the trend towards most of the shields being utilized in the field are for rifle rated protection. And we'll talk one of the products that we have. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah. I just pulled up the LW RDFs that you wanted to talk about. So
this shield is a highly maneuverable shield. It is a lightweight 3+ material, which means it's rifle rated. It's multiple impact protection. The ballistic bolts that are on this shield are also ballistic rated, so they can take a direct hit from a rifle fire. This is 7.62x39, 7.62x39 mild steel core, 5.56, 62 grain 5.56, and the 7.62x51, which is the 308 bullet. So this is all. It's a great shield. It's nice because it's a good weight. It's, depending on handle configuration, it's between 11 and 13 pounds. So even the smallest officer can hold this shield. And the handle variations, there's several configurations. The one that you're looking at here is the ERT tri-grip handle, which alleviates the weight from just on the bicep and will put it into the whole arm and shoulder area. So it makes it easier to carry for longer lengths of time.
Excellent.
Been a great seller.
Thank you for covering all of that. And to go back to that view. So yeah, and actually I've held some of these and carried them around the office. Luckily I've never had to use them.
Good.
But these are the ones behind here, very light. I was surprised that they would have the rating that they would have for pistol fire or rifle fire and be that light. Now, obviously, you guys have some other very heavy ones that can handle heavier caliber. And we used to have loaded into Grainger an actual dolly that you would actually mount the shield to because it was so heavy.
Correct. And
we didn't want law enforcement agents to get tired carrying this going down a hallway or up to a building or something like that. So there are many different types of shields. This is just one that we covered here today. And as you can see over my shoulder here, that we have a variety of different sizes and shapes depending on what your customer's specific needs are. Now, next, you wanted to get into some helmets, and we have some helmets over nicely mounted on our Grainger catalogs. That was Jim's last minute contribution. He was like, "Hey, let's put them up here." So hey, they're not only on the Grainger catalog, they're in the Grainger catalog too. So let's talk about your variety of helmets that you manufacture and provide to Grainger customers.
It's customer driven again. So we've got they're all 3A ballistics, which means they're going to be pistol rated. So different shapes and sizes. Some are legacy shapes for us, which would be the PASGAT. That's the one furthest on that side over there. It's got the visor lip. That's very unique. Any veterans that are around that might have been in the 90s, that's going to be the helmet that they're familiar with. It's a very good helmet. We sell a lot of them, and you guys actually sell a lot, so thank you very much for that. Then the Mitch helmet is the middle helmet in the back. That's the a modular helmet. Some people might put night vision brackets on it. They might do rails. This one's plain. You notice we've got it in a custom color. We do it in a blue if necessary. You can also do it in a red, and we'll show that flyer later.
Yep.
So that's if I were to stack these helmets in a good, better, and best, the PASGAT would be good. And I don't mean to compare ballistics. They're all going to be the same ballistic rating, but it's more to styles and features and comfort and price. So the PASGAT's going to be the lowest cost. The Mitch is a little mid-grade in that better range. And then the green one that I have represented there is the Spec Ops Delta. That's going to be our higher end helmet, more for use with SWAT teams and tactical teams. High cut or mid cut available in that one. And that's going to have a little bit more features and benefits to it. Yep. And there it is right there on the spec sheet. So good, better, and best for the helmets.
Yeah, and we have a variety of sizes available too, as well as colors. So if your customer doesn't want the green, we have it in black. We have all the different popular colors that people are looking for. But like you mentioned, I don't know if the Spec Ops, does it come in the red too that we're going to show in a little bit?
We can we have the ability to paint the helmets because we're the manufacturers of them. So we have interesting requests all the time. So we've done two-tone helmets too before for specific highway patrol departments that require maybe a softer look. So we do the top in green and the top in tan and then the bottom in green.
Oh, okay.
So we've done that before. So yeah, any colors available in any helmet.
Okay. And again, these are all available through Grainger. You mentioned mid cut and high cut; those are all available in Grainger with all the different sizes: small, medium, large. And we'll get into sizing. We were talking earlier before the show about sizing being kind of an issue. And actually, why don't we talk about that right now, if you don't mind? Previously, just before the show, we had a meeting, just a yearly meeting to kind of get together and talk about Grainger and opportunities. And one thing you were talking about was the potential difficulty, let me say, that an account manager could run into when it comes to talking to, say, a SWAT team, a police department about their gear and about sizing being an issue. You guys have something that is a good solution for that, not in Grainger yet, but please talk about that a little bit.
So we created a new, there's a big need in the marketplace. Well, first of all, sometimes sales reps are hesitant to size people because it's an expensive item and it's very personal. So we went to a one size fits most type solution. And if it's based on the girth measurement, or largest part above the waistline in the belly area, it would go from a 30-inch waist up to a 72-inch waist. And it's completely adjustable. We've got QR codes on our website that show how, and our Vimeo account to show how the vest adjusts. And of course, it adjusts in the height too. And where we've seen this vest be most popular and sold is into correctional facilities, and then also in the fire and EMS category, and into some specific SWAT teams, maybe where they're in an area where no one can get to them to get them sized, or the people they're purchasing from can't get to size them. So this is a great solution that's highly adjustable, it will fit basically 30 to 72-inch waist. That's a great expansion.
Yeah.
And it's a great system.
Yeah, that's almost like the medium to large to extra large range almost.
That's even bigger.
Bigger than that?
Well,
Wow.
72 inches in girth. That's 6 feet in girth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you're talking almost 4 or 5X.
Yeah. Wow. That's a pretty good value add that product brings, where a customer doesn't have to sit there and struggle with, well, maybe I should get 50 smalls and 25 larges and 50 extra larges or anything like that.
Correct.
One SKU covers multiple.
One SKU available in multiple colors. There's some options if they want to select to do some different options, which they can do easily. Insert. You could wear a helmet with it. It could be a tactical vest. It could be a one size fits most tactical vest. You could put a helmet with it, throw some hard armor plates. It's got the soft armor in there, side armor. It does a lot. And it also works with an accessory system for ballistic biceps, throat, and collar. That is also one size. So now you're talking about a solution that you can offer your customer, that when they call you and say, hey, I've got $60,000 to spend and I need to spend it soon. And I don't have the time. Right.
And that never happens.
No, it never happens. And all of a sudden, okay, here's your solution. You send them the part number and it's done.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you for covering that. And now, while I said that product is not currently loaded into Grainger, that is something that we will be talking with Grainger about, as far as proposing that and trying to get those items loaded into Grainger so that you guys can utilize it. Otherwise, you'll have to go through Grainger sourcing currently for that specific item. So now you wanted to cover active shooter kits. So unfortunately, in today's day and age, active shooter situations happen on the regular. It seemed to me like actually it was kind of nice for a period of time. We didn't have to worry about that. We weren't hearing about it. And now all of a sudden we've started to get a resurgence again, where it seems like almost every other week or once a month, we're hearing about an active shooter situation. And you guys have a great solution for that. So please talk about your active shooter kits.
James will bring up the flyer here in a second. So we wanted to make it's an easy solution. It's got a helmet, it's got a carrier, and it's got front and back plates and then some ID placards with it. It's a simple, easy solution to offer to your customers. so they're prepared. A lot of times law enforcement is very reactive on certain things. And if there's still agencies that don't have this type of equipment in the squad cars, it'd be a good time to talk to them about it. Most of them probably have it by now, but like you said, this is not going anywhere. It's not going to change anytime soon. So unfortunately, but just they should be prepared for it. And this is an easy button solution for them.
Yeah, and we came out with some of these active shooter kits with Grainger years and years ago. It was some of the first items that we added, where basically you have the helmet, you have the vest, and you have the two panels that go in the front and the back of the vest. And we have a variety of sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. Maybe do you guys have an active shooter kit of that new vest that covers 32 to 70?
Well, that's interesting. That could be an active shooter kit.
Although you'd still have to do different size helmets because
not necessarily. So if you're looking for a helmet that's going to be kind of a one size, and I think this might be in the Grainger, it'd be a large shell with a 1/2-inch pad set and then a BOA rapid dial adjustment system.
There you go.
Yeah, that dial on the back of the BOA
snugs it up.
Yeah, it tightens it up nice. So that is the way to do it. It'd be a large shell with a 1/2-inch pad system, and that's the thickness of the pads on the inside, and then with the rapid dial BOA system.
Yeah, and those BOA systems, I've seen them. I've never put a helmet on with them, or I've even seen shoes with BOA systems on them to snug up the shoes. That's just such a great way to get a custom fit, because everybody's heads are different shaped too.
Correct.
A small, but a small might have pinch points, on your head.
Correct.
Because maybe your head's more oval shaped versus round, so that with that BOA system, it'll help it be more comfortable. You won't have headaches. And help reduce fatigue, I imagine.
It's all about comfort with the helmet. It's all about comfort, because it's always going to have an extra weight on your head. You want it comfortable to wear it in case you have to wear it for a long time. So the BOA and the pad system is the key to comfort.
Yeah, great. Now you also had fire department armor. So just recently we had on our show Merit Products, who do medical bags for firefighters, EMTs, police departments, military. And I remember when they came out with their bags that actually have little pockets and inserts for ballistic panels. And I was like, why would you do that? Well, I learned that evidently firefighters and EMTs, they get shot at. I would never really think that people that are running in to save lives would get shot, despite police. Obviously they're going to, but if somebody's running into a burning building to help save lives, that somebody's going to shoot at them. I never thought that was a thing, but evidently it is. And when you told me that you guys have a solution for that too, I was like, this is like even bigger thing. It's not just one person talking about it now. I'm hearing it from multiple sources.
It's our fastest growing segment of body armor sales is fire and EMS.
Really?
Yeah, that's our fastest growing customer. They're an interesting customer base because they don't have any historical data. They don't understand the armor, so they go to their local police departments and they ask, hey, what are you using? So a lot of business comes that way, but they really do look to their police counterparts to kind of say, hey, what's happening and what do we need? So yeah, it's our fastest growing segment. And I'd recommend to all the salespeople out there, definitely contact those fire departments, because if they don't have armor, they're going to be looking at it soon. I'm sure of it.
Wow.
And it's a different type of armor. When you're discussing armor with a fire department, the big thing is they're going to issue it not to an individual. 9 out of 10 times it will be issued to a vehicle, to a location in a vehicle, a specific spot. So that armor they want it to adjust to the most fit of people. And that's helmet, large shell, 1/2-inch pads with BOA, right? That's your one size fits most helmet. And then the carrier, the armor, there's a little different choices. Some want only rifle protection, some want pistol only, and then some want both. But that's that multi-fit vest that we were talking about. And you've got the flyer up here.
Yeah.
So that's the turnout. That's the one that would be through the sourcing right now because it's not on Grainger.
Correct.
So it'd be through sourcing. So that turnout is key. You can get it all the colors, standard colors, including the red. You can do it with a high vis option, which is pictured on the flyer right there. You don't have to do the high vis option. And then you see the helmet pictured in our red color too. And again, that's not necessary. The red just shows nice on the flyer. And we do have a bunch of people who do red. They do red because if there's police and fire on the scene and everybody's going to wear black, it's tough to dictate if you're trying to dictate who's supposed to handle what. So it's good when the operations person or whoever's handling the scene and control can know right away that there's fire and EMS, and then he can tell them where they need to be at. So that's why that red color is important.
Yeah, thank you for covering that. It's great to know that we have solutions to help out with the fire departments. From United Shield. So thank you for covering that. Now we want to get into some new products. Now, well, some of the products that we covered were kind of new, and again, that fire turnout gear that is through Grainger sourcing. These other products are through Grainger sourcing as well. So I want to start with the MXV shield, which Brian did talk about last time when we had him on. But it's one of your top sellers, right? It's a very popular item for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Why are people wanting this MXV shield so badly today?
MXV stands for maximum viewport. So it's 77 square inches of viewport. And by viewport, I mean the ballistic glass that's in there that you can visually see through. When you're behind a shield, vision is everything. Not only downward vision, so you can see, so you don't trip on things, but also peripheral vision. So it's a trapezoid shape. It's gigantic. It's the largest in the industry. I bet you 9 out of 10 shields that we sell are going to be MXV. Right. So it's all about vision. Still ultra lightweight, multiple handle configurations, multiple accessories, LED lights, all that still available, identification placards, but the MXV is all about vision.
Excellent. Yeah. And you have a variety of shapes too. It's not just this rectangular.
Correct.
You have some that are kind of like the one over my shoulder here where you have cutouts where those are meant for like rifles or handguns.
Correct.
So that they can easily peer out, from behind the shield.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. Stable. It's a stabilization platform, so you can place the firearm on that to be more stable when you're moving.
Yep.
With the shield.
Great. And I think there was one more item that you wanted to cover, and that was the UPT turnout.
Yep. And we covered this one.
Oh, we did cover this?
Yeah,
one?
this one is the turnout. This is the one. This is the multi-fit one. So it kind of covers all the categories.
I didn't pull it up when I was supposed to.
No, that's okay.
Bad on me.
No, it's been I'd say it's our number 2 seller out of external carriers right now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a huge product, and you see it on the flyer. It's got that high vis on there. It doesn't have to have it. If this is going into a prison or correctional facility, it would not have the high vis.
Yeah.
So that's an option for it. And then you notice that one's got a little quick release buckle on it to get in and out. That's an optional accessory, but it is really it's a great vest, and it meets the needs of the customer is what it does it's a great value proposition.
Excellent. And my apologies for not pulling it up when you were talking about it originally, but you see it all now, and maybe later when I make the RT clips, I'll merge those 2 sections into one short little video so that this will be seen a little bit. So we're just about done. Resources that you guys have that's available. So one question that I get from the Grainger sales force all the time, number 1 question is field sales. So please address that.
Well, we've got approximately 20 people out throughout the country that are experts in our product. So those are the ones that we would steer you towards, so they can engage with your customer either on a call, on a video call, or in person, depending on scheduling. And they would be your resource out in the field. And then obviously, factories, I do travel out on specific certain circumstances to become the product expert and to assist you in meeting the needs of your customer.
Great. And if you want to know who those people are, here in a moment, I'll pop up my contact information as well as Jim's contact information. Please feel free to reach out to either one of us whenever you want to know who your local contact is. Now, upcoming trade shows. You mentioned just before there's an Illinois trade show. It's kind of a small trade show, but any of you government Illinois account managers, if you're going to this trade show, you might want to stop by the United Shield booth. So what is the show that's coming up? Do you know when it is and where?
Yes, it's the Illinois Tactical Officers Association show. It's in Oak Brook at the Doubletree in Oak Brook. Okay. And it's going to be the Sunday and Monday prior to Thanksgiving. I don't know what the date is, but it's the Sunday and Monday prior to Thanksgiving. Okay. And we're in the lower level. Okay. So it's basically Sunday afternoon from around noon till 7, and then Monday it's during business hours, like an 8 to 3. Okay. Any other trade shows coming up after that? I know the rest of the year is kind of short here. I can't believe we're in November already. It's crazy. But any in the beginning of next year at all that you guys are attending? Do you go to SHOT Show at all? The big one is SHOT Show.
Okay.
Yeah, the big one's SHOT Show in Las Vegas in January.
Yeah, I've actually never gone to SHOT Show, and I keep asking my boss. I've gotten I've had a couple of bosses. But I ask every year, can I go? Can I go? Because I want to go. I want to, for one, visit with our suppliers that attend, and we have a handful that do. But also, I want to see the knives. I want to see, there's a lot of cool stuff at the SHOT Show.
It's a great show. Especially, it's a great show to attend as an attendee and to walk the show. Mm-hmm. As a vendor working the show, not so great. It's a long 4 days. We're there basically all week, but it's a great show for just for engagement with your end users too. Yeah. So you definitely should try to make it out there at least once.
Yeah, and the Granger show is normally next year it's I think a 3-day event, but normally it's about a 4-day event as well. It's a whole week, because you have the prep work beforehand and then the show and then the teardown too. So. But yeah, I'm very familiar with those all week long shows, not a quick 1 or 2 day show. Your feet are really killing you.
Comfortable shoes.
Starting at the beginning of that last day, you're like, oh, you're dreading it, looking forward to getting home. So awesome. So thank you for covering all of that. So make sure you stop by the United Shield booth during what was that Illinois one again?
ITOA, Illinois Tactical Officers Association in Oak Brook.
Okay, so make sure you stop by if you're going to that show. Stop by United Shield. Will you be at the show? And Brian
I'll be at
too?
The show. No, Brian won't, but I'll be at the show.
Okay, so stop by, say hi to Jim. Say, hey, I saw you on the Rowe-Thrush Solution Selling Show. Or stop by during the SHOT Show and check out all their products, the products that we covered here today, and everything else that they have to offer. So with that. We are done. Why don't you, do you have any closing words or anything like that you want to say before we end the show?
I would just say thank you. Thank you for the business. We appreciate it. And thanks for having me on today.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. He's a local here in Illinois, but soon not. You're moving to Michigan. We were talking about that. So wish you best of luck in your move. I've moved a few times myself, and it's never a fun task.
It's not fun. It's not fun, but we'll get through it.
So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and end it, but I want to let you know when our next episode will be. Well, it won't be until 2024. This is our last episode for season 2. So you will see no more. The team of Rowe-Thrush, we do all wish you all a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving, everything in between. Hope you all have a fantastic time from here until next year. And We're still deciding as far as if we're going to stick to the Friday at 2 o'clock schedule next year. Just keep an eye out for us with regular posts on LinkedIn as far as what we'll be doing. But we'll be doing our next one sometime that first week of January. And they will be starting out with our suppliers attending the Granger show. So those will be some that you'll want to check out. And just stay tuned and we'll let you know. With that, I'm going to pop up our last thing here, and that is contact information for both Jim and James. So if you have any questions about anything that we covered here today, please feel free to reach out to either James or either myself or Jim. So once again, Jim, thank you for attending the show today.
Thank you.